this is very much an ensemble piece, and I gather it took about 10 days to shoot, which is a very short period of time. 13.
13.
Okay.
96 pages and
a
13
short period of time anyway. So, as an ensemble, how did you actually sort of create a rapport in such a short space of time?
Well, I think that is partly due to casting choices of how we would all connect, which I think is Sally's talent. And the rest was, we had a good 10 days of rehearsal and preparation for the film. So we would get together and run our lines and talk about things and generally have a good old kind of chit-chat. Mm-hmm. That was fun. Mm-hmm. And then with Sally, we sat around her kitchen table and read the scenes and rejigged some bits and then thought about it and talked about it and listened to each other, which was nice because that's how you get to know each other. And then Sally would take us for an afternoon individually and sort of concentrate on your character, and she did that to all of us, each of us. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't a clue what she was saying to Cherry, for example. I hadn't a clue what she was saying to Tim, and Cherry had no idea what she was saying to me. So there remained a kind of surprise element.
The unknown. Yeah.
I mean, Sally didn't give us backstory. We'd sort of chat about it, shoot the breeze, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's helpful because then you sort of get a bit of an arc beyond just what the script tells you. Because you could say, well, I mean, you could ask her specific questions about the character, and sometimes she'd say, oh, I hadn't thought of that, you know, and so then you discuss and get...
I mean, the characters go through a huge kind of... Well, my character and your character, particularly, actually, go through this enormous arc, don't they, personally? And some of it has to do with what's going on, and some of it is like your stuff is sort of backstory related. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's it was a really interesting process, actually. The sort of the semi-secret and the semi kind of... That was good.
It's interesting she took that approach, though, because both of you have actually got partners in the story as well, because you've got Emily Mortimer, you've got Timothy Spall. Mm-hmm. So how did you develop the relationship between those between your partners and yourselves?
Well, Emily and I started talking pretty much as soon as we got in touch with each other as quickly as we could, and you know, would ponder our questions about the script that we didn't quite understand about our characters, or so that we could discuss them with Sally, and then just started making up, you know, when we met, how long we'd been together, you know, all those things that, because I think there were probably more givens about you and Timothy's relationship.
Well, Tim and I didn't speak before the first day of rehearsal.
Yeah.
I never met him.
Not still?
No, I never met him. Oh, hello.
Oh, I can't believe you'd never met.
No, never met.
I didn't realise that.
And so there we were, playing husband and wife, and it seemed actually quite appropriate, not really, but due to what's going to happen later, not really knowing much about one about the other.
Perfect. You're right.
Yes.
That's perfect.
You know.
You hadn't seen each other in
No.
months or years,
Who are you
really.
again?
Right. Yale, Harvard. Yeah.
I love that bit.
I do too.
And of course, there's a very strong political side to the film as well. I mean, how much did you get into the politics? And dare I ask the question, would either of you ever consider going into politics?
Hey, Kristin Scott Thomas
was
is
a long
game for
pause
almost
there.
anything you could throw her way.
I don't think that's on the agenda. It's funny because people say it seems to be a very political film, but I think Sally was more interested in the kind of... I don't know whether there is a difference between people and politics now. I think what's interesting is that we were telling the story from very first degree of people, friends, long-term friends, people who'd known each other for a very long time, who were very close, who shared the same ideals, suddenly having their ideals kind of questioned and their theories about life questioned, and everything they've ever thought and worked for and aimed for is now put into question, and I think that's what we were concentrating on. But then you realise that actually politics are just absolutely part of everyday life. There's no escaping, and this was compounded when the Brexit vote happened,
which was when you were filming.
Which is when we
it?
were filming, when we all realised what kind of soup we were in.
And when you think about, I mean, it's so interesting too. Patty's character, who's the cynic of the bunch, in a way, is the one who keeps nailing it on the head, and in the end, shows the most tenderness for everyone, even though she's ripping everyone apart. You know, at the end, that wonderful line about how relationship is looking remarkably healthy, Gottfried, and it's, you know, it is the rest of us have these high ideals that have been corrupted, and our relationships have been corrupted, but it was just, I had never really thought of that she's the one true cynic of the bunch, but who has the, you know, in the end is the one with the greatest compassion. I mean, those scenes I love those scenes with you.
In the bathroom when she's like trying to cheer me up.
Yeah. Or when you finally let her in.
Yeah.
Love that moment when she says you shouldn't murder him.
Yes, you might consider murder.
Yeah. We haven't got to talk about the film. I've got a whole list for you, which I'm so glad I can say is not like theater. If you go to see a play, you can't tell your friend what you love because you've got to go out and do it the next night and not be self-conscious about this brilliant moment.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned the theatre, because we were talking to Sally earlier and she was saying how there'd been actually quite a lot of interest in the film from theatrical quarters, in other words, you know, turning it into a play. Would you want to recreate your roles on stage?
Yeah,
you should.
Why not?
I'm not sure that I would, but you definitely should. That would be fabulous, actually. Where did you get this little bit of? Sally said.
Sally told us this earlier.
The Berlin and the French press conference. They were all going, you know, have you considered making it a play?
Wow. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.